Hello everyone, welcome to Jigyansa. I'm Devasmita. So in the previous video we already seen about the part third, and in this video we are going to learn about the types of the or the shape of the corolla. So let's start what the different shape of the corolla. So in the shape of the corolla, this is first one is the in the cruciform or the cross shaped. This is the characteristic of the family of the cruciferi. So in the basis of their different family, the shape of their name also given. So, in Cruciferi family or the Brassicaceae family, there are the four petals and which are arranged in the form of a cross-like or the diagonally placed. That's why this is known as the cross-shaped or the cruciform form. So, the further is petals is differentiated to claw or the limb. So, the name of the cruciferi of the family is on the basis of the cruciform of the corolla. So, on the basis of their shape, the family name was also given as the due to their different shape of their corolla. So then comes to the campanule type, or this is otherwise the bell shaped corolla. Bell shaped corolla is generally known as the campanule type, or this is mostly seen in case of the Cucurbitaceae family, for example in the cucurbita. And then comes to the infundibulum. In case of the infundibulum, or this is the funnel like shaped, that's why this is known as infundibulum. And for example the petunia and the ipomea. And tubular form, this is mainly the gamopetalous corolla. Gamopetalous means it's a united form of the corolla, then it is known as the gamopetalous. And polypetalous means this is the freely situated. So in case of the gamopetalous corolla, this is the tube like structure, that's why this is known as the tubular form. And this is the best example of the sunflower. It is mainly seen in case of the sunflower, the tubular shape of the corolla. So then comes to the Papilionaceae or the butterfly shape. This is the characteristic of the family Papilionaceae. Here is the five petals found in the five petals. One out of them, one the posterior is the last, called the standard or the vexillum, and two lateral, which is called the wing type, and two are the innermost anterior small fused petals, that are called as the keel or the carina. So that's why its shape is looks like a butterfly. Then the Papilionaceae family of the flowers of the Papilionaceae, then it is known as the butterfly shaped. Then bilabiate or the bi-lipped. Bilabiate or the bi-lipped means two-lipped corolla that consist of their mainly in the Labiaceae family or the Lamiaceae family. For example, Oseum sanctum, Tulsi. This is mainly seen in case of the Oseum or the Tulsi. Then comes to the linguate or the strap shaped or the tongue shape. Tongue shape means it's narrow below and the flattened above like a strap or the appendages of the corolla. That's why this is known as the linguate or the strap shaped or the tongue shape. Then corona, any appendages present on the corolla on the between the stamens in the corolla is called as the corona or the coronary structure. That's the calotropis in case of the calotropis procera or calotropis gigantea, and this type of the appendages is known as the corona. And the best example you have already seen in case of the TV or any social media, also the structure of the coronavirus. That's why this is known as that like appearance is known as the corona or the coronary structure, and it is mainly seen in case of the Calotropis procera or Calotropis giganteum. Then in case of the spore, a tubular projection from the calyx or the corolla, that is the delphinium. Then this is known as the spore. Arrangement of the floral organs or the pods is known as the spore. Arrangement of the floral organs or the parts, how it arranged. Then anthophore, androphore, gynophore, androgynophore. So anthophore means the internodal elongation between the calyx and the corolla is known as the anthophore, because the internodal means in case of the nodes and internodes. So the internodal elongation between the calyx and corolla. In between the calyx and the corolla, there is presence of the internodal elongation. Then This is known as the anthophore, and it is, for example, silence saxifraga. Silence saxifraga, then this is known as the anthophore. Then androphore means internodal elongation between the corolla and androecium. Here, in case of the anthophore, you just see that in between the calyx and corolla, but in case of the androphore, there is the elongation, internodal elongation between the corolla and the androecium. Then this is known as the androphore. So, for example, this is the cleome and the creativa. Then the gynophore means between the androecium and gynecium. Then this is known as the gynophore. So, every plants of the family like the Caparidaceae, then this is known as the gynophore, and androgynophore means both androecium and gynecium. Then this is the androphore and the gynophore, then this is known as the androgynophore, and then for example the cleome, example cleome, and it's also belong to the family Caparidaceae. So, androecium, in case of the androecium, this is the male reproductive plants, this is the male reproductive part of the flower, and gynecium means this is the female reproductive part of the plants. And here is the stamen. Stamen is the unit of the androecium. It consists of the anther filament and the connective. Then staminode means at a reduced or the sterile stamen is known as the staminode. Then polyandrous, more than one androecious, or the stamens are free, both filamentous or the anthers are different in stamens are present, then this is known as the polyandrous. It is mainly seen in case of the Ranunculaceae family, and for example mainly seen in the Ranunculus. Then monoadelphous, monoadelphous means united in one group. The stamens or the filaments of the stamens are united into one group. Then a didelphous means two, united into two group, or the bundles. Then this is known as the didelphous. Then it is mainly seen in case of the Papilionaceae family. Polyadelphous means united into several groups. Filaments of the stamens are united into several groups, then it is mainly seen in case of the citrus species. So, in case of the syngenesious, what does mean the syngenesious? It means that when the stamens are united by their anthers, and it is called as the syngenesis condition, and this is mainly found in case of the Compositae or the Asteraceae family. Then synandrous means syngenesis, and this is what this one is the synandrous. Androus means anther, or the stamens are united throughout their length, both by the filaments and the anthers. It is mainly found in case of the Cucurbitaceae family, and the members of the Cucurbita, it is highly found in synandrous type. Then epipetalous, conditions in which the stamens are attached to the corolla or the petals is known as the epipetalous. For example, solanum, it mainly in the Solanaceae family, and the member like the solanum. Then gynandrous means it means ki the stamens united with the carpel either throughout the length of the by their anther, and it is mainly found in case of the Calotropis. Then diplostaminous means here the stamens in the two rolls, and those of the outer rolls and the are alternate with the petals. Then diplostaminous means two alternating rolls, that outer roll are the opposite of the sepals, petals, and not at all alternate. And in case of the Rutaceae family and Caryophyllaceae family, mainly seen this type of staminous. And didynamous means two are long and two are short, that is the 2 plus 2 rolls, that is why this is known as the didynamous. And this is mainly found in the Ostium sanctum or Labiative family or the Lamiaceae family. Then tetradynamous in 6 stamens, because 6 stamens present in this case, but 4 are long and 4 are short. So, there is the 4 plus 2 rule is applied, that is in case found in the Brassicaceae family. Then dithecous anther. Dithecous anther means two-celled or the lobed anther having the 4 microsporangia or the pollen chambers. Then monothecous means Monothecans means the one-celled or one-lobed anther having the two microsporangia, and this is mainly found in case of the Malvaceae family. And then extros anther means anther descending towards the periphery of the flowers, and that is in case of the family Malvaceae and their Ranunculaceae. And introse anther means the anther descending towards the center of the flower. In most of the family like that, the anthers are the present in this type of the present, and this is known as the introse anther. Then adenate means the filament attaching or the running complete length of the anther, that is in case of the from base to the apex, from base to apex. uh, then this is known the adenate anther. Then sagittate means anther like an arrow, and that is in the family Apocynaceae family. uh, then versatile means these are the characteristics of the grasses, mainly the Poaceae family or the Gramineae family. In case of this family, the versatile type of the anthers can be found or can be seen. Here filaments is attached to the back of the anther that I point, and so it can swing freely. Then gynoecium or the pistil, that is the gynoecium means the female reproductive organ of the flowers, and the unit is the carpel. That's why this is the unit of the gynoecium is the pistil or the pistil. A carpel is having the stigma, style, and the ovary. So in case of the stamen, we just it consists of the anther filament and the connective, but in case of the uh, but in case of the gynoecium, it consists of the stigma, style, and the ovary. So, in case of the pistillode means the sterile pistil or the gynoecium. Sterile pistil or the gynoecium is known as the pistillode. It is of the various type monocarpellary, bi, tri, tetra, penta, poly, or the multicarpellary. So, on the basis of their pistil or the gynoecium having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the numerous carpel respectively on there by the presence or the on the number of their pistil, then it is known is a different type. So then comes to the epocarpus. Epocarpus means the pistil or the gynoecium with the separate or the free carpels. Then syn means united. Syn means united, and then epo means it's free or separate. Then comes to the position of the ovary. Already we have discussed about in the typification. Then this is the superior, inferior. In case of the hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous, we have already seen about the presence of the ovary, that is the superior, inferior, and half superior, inferior. So I think all of you know about it. So then comes to the locules. Locules, what it say that the chambers or the compartment of the ovary are called as the locules. Also, it may be unilocular. It means one locule. Then bilocular means two locules. Then tri, tetra, and the multilocular, that is the many locules. Then comes to the placenta. Placenta means the part of the ovary and where the ovules are born or the attached. Then placentation means arrangement of the ovules inside the ovary on the placenta is called the placentation, and it is of the various types. And the main types are like the axial, marginal, parietal, free central, basal, and the superficial. So in case of the axial, here you can see in case of the B, diagram B you can see. Then ovary, bi, tri, tetra, and the multilocular, and the ovules are born on the central mode of or the central axis. So here you can see, here you can see in case of the B, there is the ovules are in the central part, present in the central part. That's why this is known as the axial type. Then marginal type. In case of the marginal type, here you can see in the figure or the picture. This is figure number A. It's one margin present or situated in one margin. So ovary unilocular, it may be unilocular, and the ovules are born on the margin. It born in case of the margin, that's why this is known as the marginal, and it is mainly found in case of the Fabaceae family or Leguminosae family. Then comes to the parietal form. Then parietal form, you see the C number. Parietal means the ovary unilocular ovaries are born on the periphery. So this is the periphery region. They are born in the periphery region. That's why it is known as the parietal. And the members of the brassica and the archemones are the best example of the parietal type of the placentation. Then comes the free central. Free central means it's the united form. In case of the B it is exalta. In case of the B we just see that we have seen already that the exalt type, but in case of the free central you can see the the figure number D. Here it is said that the ovary is unilocular and the ovules are born on the central mode of the axis, that is exile septa. And the in case of the family Caryophyllaceae, then this is mainly found in Caryophyllaceae family, and this type of the the free central type of the placentation. Then comes to the basal type. Basal type, in case of the E, uh, in this picture or this figure, you just see about that the ovary is unilocular and the ovules few or the reduced to one. Ovules are reduced to one and bone at the base of the ovary. That's why this is known as the basal type, and it is mainly seen in case of the Compositae family or the Asteraceae family. Lastly, or the comes to the final, then this is the superficial type. And in case of the superficial type, this one is the superficial type. And ovary is multilocular and the ovules are born in the inner surface of or the partition of the walls, that is in the water lily type. In case of the water lily, you can see that this type of the arrangement of the placentation. So these are some different types of the placentation, and these are mainly found in different family on the basis of their arrangement. So next comes to the gynoebasic style. What is the gynoebasic style? Sorry. So come to the gynoebasic style. Gynoebasic style means it is the characteristic feature of the family Labiaceae family. Mainly in case of the Labiaceae family, then it is found this type of the style, that is the style arises from the depression of the cavity in the center of the ovary and directly from the thalamus. This is directly from the thalamus. That's why this is known as the gynoebasic style. So let's comes to the stylopodium. So stylopodium means when the base of the style is swollen like to form the pad-like structure, then this is known as the stylopodium. In case of the Apiaceae family or Umbelliferae family, there is found this type of the arrangement. Then plumostigma, it means feather-like stigma. For example, in case of the grasses. Then rejuvenation. Rejuvenation means the turning or the twisting of the ovary or the flower through 180-degree, that is the upside down. Then this is known as in case of the orchids. In case of the orchids, this type of the ovary is found. So that's why this is known as rejuvenation. And then comes to the floral formula. So all those things we have already studied about in the previous videos also. What is then here is the floral formula. So this is very important for all of you, that is what is floral formula. When we study about the taxonomy, then when we describe about the family and one about the characteristic feature of the family, then we comes to the floral part and the floral formula. So let's see what is the floral formula. So shorthand notation on the floral collected is known as the floral formula. When we study about all those things, any part or any section, then we have then comes to its formula. That's why we calculate to easy or just donated to or denotation that it's or represent it the whole things into a single formula. So likewise that the flower, one single flower has or single family have a floral formula, that's it is represent on that particular family. So comes to the floral formula. what it say that it is the handy methods of the summarizing various character of the flowers by a type of shorthand method which reveals the essential fact of the flower. So, from what is flower formula? Now, it is said that it's a shorthand, the handy method of summarizing the various characters. It bunch of the characters that is denoted into a single formula. That's why this is known as the floral formula. So, different shorthand notation or the symbols used in the flower formula are. So, these are some of floral formulas notation. So, each and every symbol is very important for all of you. So, carefully you just see the what are they. So, one is first of all is the BR for bracteate. We just see about a flower that here is the present or absent of the bracteate, then it present, when it present the bracteate, then it is we just denoted as the VR, but in case of it is absent, then it is ebracteate, that is the EBR. EBR. Then actinomorphic, already I have told you that actinomorphic or the regular flower, it means ki when we when we divide a flower into any of the plane, then it is divided into two sections, that this is known as the actinomorphic. Then zygomorphic means only two what only one plane it can divide into a two equal halves, then this is known as the zygomorphic. Then bisexual, it means the presence of the both male and female sex flower into a single plants, then this is known as the bisexual flowers, or in a single flower, then this is known as the bisexual flower. Then in case of the female, it is denoted as the likewise, and this and notation as the, this one is the male, this one is the female. Then calyx, for calyx we just denoted as the K. Corolla for C, then perianth for P, then comes to the androism for A, and here is the either it may be the androism means the stamen number either 5 to 6, then this is a 5 such type of we just write that androism, the present of the stamens, then a 5. Then gynoecium means G. Then superior ovary is superior, then gynoecium, then ovary is superior, then ovary is inferior, it means ki gynoecium, then over here one line is on above the G, then we it is denoted as the inferior ovary. Then 1 2 3 4, then infinite 2 up to infinite, this is number of the sepal petal stamen on the carpets on the presence of on the basis of their presence or absence, then this is you can denote it as 1 2 3 4 and 5, the number on the number of the sepals petal or the stamens or the carpels. Then bracteate means fused or united, then free, then it is epipetalous condition, then this is known as the all those things. So this is the floral formula. Then floral diagram, what is the floral diagram? It is a ground plan of a flower, and the cross section of the flower is represented by means of the floral diagram, by which by this method, the method, many of the characteristics of the floral parts and the asymmetric can be represented as the graphic forms. So, in a floral diagram, the side towards the mother axis is the posterior side of the flower, and the lower side, that is the towards the bract, is the anterior side of the flower. So, mother axis, it means ki the axis from which the flower arises, that's we call it as the mother axis. And in case of the floral diagram, we just calculate, or we just draw all the all the characters or all the symbols, that is the presence of the bracteate or ebracteate, or it may be actinomorphic or zygomorphic or bisexual flower or calyx, corolla, and rhizome, gynoecium, on the basis of their symbols or presence of the number. So that's why all those things, I think this one is the last one. Yes. Yes, so these are some very important for the floral diagram, floral formula, and then related to in related some terms or the points related to the floral formula. So I think all of you understood very well. So this is the all about the taxonomic form. In the next video we just will go for the various family, and in that case, in that families we are going to learn about the how we can represent the floral formula and the floral diagram. So thank you.